and welcome to So You Think You're Awake. Today I come from Lincoln City in Oregon. Last week we were in sunny Arizona. Quite a shift in the weather. Today we have Amanda in the hot seat. Now Amanda is a rising star, we can tell that from her dreams, but it's very interesting. When you have hopes or when you have fears, they are going to show up in your dreams. So how do you know if your dream is telling you that this is actually going to happen for you or it's just a hope? Well, we will see that how Amanda's dreams confirm that for her on today's interview. Before we look at the interview though, let's have a look at the symbol of the day, which includes symbols that are going to show up in her dream. A symbol we see in today's show that is quite common in a lot of people's dreams, especially when they're moving further into the spiritual field, is moving up and down stairs and kind of like crazy kind of connections. You wonder, why did I go this way? I could just head up there. Instead, I'm going down here, up there, down there, up somewhere else. Sometimes in these dreams, the stairs are all moving upwards and indeed get more rickety or even turn into ladders. Dangerous kind of ladders at the very top of a building. Quite often the outside walls of the buildings are disappearing in these dreams. And again, it's because it's about your spiritual aspect, the aspect where you're moving away from physical structure, but raising your vibration, and that's what the movement up is about. So in Amanda's dream, we have this symbol, and at the end of it all, she reaches a space shuttle, which is a terrific symbol. And when she gets to the space shuttle, she's going to strap in for launch. Now again, this is about her taking off, her reaching the stars, or stardom. So how do we know that this is something that is going to happen for Amanda, or that it's something that she wants to happen? Let's have a look at the video and we'll see.
Don't miss your chance to see Michael Sheridan live and in person, along with a host of other amazing transformational teachers at the Wisdom Soup Spirit Summit. It'll be June 2nd in Los Angeles, and tickets are available now at wisdomsoup.eventbrite.com. Listen in at the end of this interview to find out more.
Thanks again for taking the call in this format. It's a new addition to the show. And I'm beginning to see why Holly wanted it in the first place. So, when I saw your dream, I was really excited because I rarely get dreams like this. This is like when you're given a dream like this, you expect to see on the other end like somebody who knows they're an ascended master or something like that. But let's start off anyway. You say, my dream began just outside a gigantic building with silver spires. I knew I was at Disneyland, and there was a small group of us chosen to go onto a space shuttle that was going to take us out into the universe. I mean, straight away, that's amazing. But it tells us, the gigantic building tells us the scope, the scale of the work that you're here to do. And I don't know if that's something you're aware of or have only recently become aware of, but it's absolutely huge. And that's why the scale of the buildings. You would never see a big building like that and expect, oh, there's going to be something mediocre in here. You know it's going to be magnificent, no matter what it is. And then the silver spires tell us that you get amazing inspiration through your intuitive connection, your psychic or higher self connection. That's a big, big, big thing for you. And again, I don't expect you to not know this. I suspect that you're going to know everything most of what I set out to tell you. You say you knew it was at Disneyland, so Disneyland is wonderful because Disneyland is about magic. You know, it's just a magical place. So it's about you realizing almost like that you're not just the fairy tale in a story. You're not just the princess in the story. You're also the savior. You're the knight. You're everything else. So it's like it's all magical, and this whole world is created for me. You know, and I have such a huge part in this. You know, it has that kind of a vibe to it. So let me stop. Are things changing for you now? Are you aware that you're stepping, say, from,
yes,
let's say, mediocre life to something amazing?
Yes. So I had this dream 2 nights after one of the biggest days of my life.
Okay.
So I was able to present my work. It's a book to some very, very important figures in my line of work in the spiritual world. Very big names, and they were very interested and they wanted it. and they were looking through it that day, and they want to get back in touch with me. And that's only the start. There's so much orchestrated. I've also been able to connect this book to other important names
Okay.
because I'm actually channeling a very famous person through this book. And this person has orchestrated all this, and I'm just walking the path of the magic right now. And it is magic. That's what's
Right.
happening.
Okay.
And I'm on the precipice, of the cusp of the launch. It's such a big deal what's coming in that I don't know. I don't know what's happening. I don't have any expectations. I just feel it. So there you go. I've been working very hard on a project. And I got it to the right people, and now the universe is conspiring to percolating to create what's in my highest and best interest.
Of course, the universe has been conspiring since the day you were born for this, so
Yeah. Oh,
it's
well,
well set up for you. And these people get a mention later on in this first paragraph of your dream. But let's continue on. You were there with a small group of us chosen to go into a space shuttle. Of course, you're talking about the launch of something. So the big question is going to be on your mind: is this launch going to happen? Is this going to work? And this dream, of course, gives the answer.
yes, that's
Because
what I want
we
to
will
know.
dream about things that we are concerned about. So it doesn't necessarily tell us that everything's going to be perfect, just because we have something show up in our dreams. But there's detail in this dream that tells us what the answer is. So it's really good. You're also meant to work with groups of people. Do you work with groups?
I have, yes.
Okay.
Yes, and I guided meditations and
Yeah.
classes and stuff like that.
Okay. And that's what the small groups reference is here. But I reckon the small is also in the dream to say that you keep it small and the groups are going to get bigger. But to realize by this being in the dream, and even right at the start, you're a spiritual leader who works with groups. That's really what that means. So again, I suspect you already know that. It's probably on your business card, so nothing new to you. Let's see, onto a space shuttle that was going to take us out into the universe. So this new launch is going to expand you. That's what going out into the universe is about. But I mean, can you imagine a bigger expansion symbol? You couldn't, it's not just like
No.
it's going to cover the city. It's covering the universe. So that means there's a lot of guides involved in this too. It's going to affect the heavens too. We often think that we're learning on the earth plane and it's only the people on the earth plane, but there's tiers and tiers and tiers involved. And lots of spirits learn at the same time from the work that you do.
Okay.
The guide, we go straight away, the guide, so this is about your guide. The guide took us into this gigantic unmarked building where we walked through different pathways and up and down staircases and in and out of darker areas, some very bright and feeling like we were in a futuristic place with neon lighting and action shots of shuttles traveling to planets and around the universe. So here's part of why you question, is it me? And this is like part of what the thing is like, I'm the chosen one,
Right.
I mean, I know I'm good at what I do, but really? and it's
Where I've been off and on, yes.
and so the unmarked building is the like, but surely I would have known by now. There's been no sign, and this building has no sign on it. So it's like, yeah, you've been working incognito, but anyway, you're stepping into that. So the way they say here, your guide brings you through different pathways, up and down staircases, and in and out of darker areas. So that means your life has not just been plain sailing. There has been dark spots in your life. There's been highs, there's been lows, and that's what up and down the stairs is about. But realize that this is all part of getting you to where you are. It's not that those highs and lows in the dark areas were blemishes on your resume, say. These were necessary. And they're necessary, of course, for your own development, but they're also necessary to put you in touch with people who are stuck in those areas. It's stuck in those lows or stuck in those dark spaces. And if you had never gone through those, you couldn't possibly connect with people who are there. And so your work is obviously going to help people in these spaces. So where have I got it to here now? Oh yeah, so I like the future reference. You say, feeling like we're in a futuristic place with neon lighting and action shots of shuttles traveling to planets and around the universe. So again, it's about the future. So I imagine you're aware that there are major energy changes taking place on the planet. You're part of that major energy change. So it's like people would always wonder what's going to make it global, and there's a very small number of players make it global. So there are huge energy changes, and if you can feel energy, you can feel it being stepped up every so often. And it's like there's a peeling away. So there's some people who are on this high energy curve, and it really is a curve, and there's people who don't want to get on that curve, but they don't just stay where they are. They sink lower than where they are when they don't get onto that curve. So there are light workers, in fact, that don't stay on the curve, that fall off it. But anyway, you're one of the people that's about accelerating the change. But it really is a very small number. Let's see. Giant replicas of planets, stars, galaxies. You say there were giant replicas of planets, stars, galaxies hanging from the ceilings as we weaved through the different areas of this building. Finally, we reached what looked like a giant shuttle inside of a warehouse in what felt like the back of the building. So again, the back of the building is a negative in here. The rest is all very good. So it says, like, you've rehearsed this. This is what all the replicas are about. You know, them hanging from the ceiling is like that. The connection is to the spirit world, because the ceiling is higher. That in a dream is symbolically our higher aspect. So the stars and all these things hanging from the ceiling. So it's, you've retained a connection to the stars through your own higher self connection. The stars here, though, isn't just goals. It's actually celebrities. So you're going to be very involved with celebrities. I don't know whether you already are, but that's where your life is taking you. And we can see the connection here. So I don't know what the connection could be to, because you're a channel, the connection could also be to celebrities who've passed over. And that's one of the things that, you know, everybody is kind of like, well, if I say you to channel Michael Jackson, it could be a blessing or it could be a curse, because people are going to not believe you, and so on and so on. So you've got to navigate this in a way, and I picked him because I know it's not him. You've got to navigate this in a way that it probably feels like a poison chalice in one sense, and in another sense it feels extremely exciting.
So there's one thing I forgot to write about in there, that when I talked to Holly a little bit more about my dream after, and that is the shuttle, the outside of the shuttle, and the inside of the shuttle was blinding white light. Like I needed sunglasses. It was like I needed sunglasses. It was so bright. Like when we get into talking about the socks and stuff on the floor, it was so bright I could hardly see the socks.
Well, in that context, it's excellent because it's connecting with the source. Anything that's a light source in a dream is about connecting to source. And it's all terminology. So if you say guides, or you say source, or you say whatever, you know, lots of people use different things. But the light is a really good symbol, but also the light is the symbol for your connection. So for you to say that the shuttle was so bright, it means that your connection to your higher self is fantastic. It's really, really strong. And of course, a higher self connection, here's the difference between, you know, because it's one of these misused words, a psychic connection. That connection is one that can't be tampered with, because it's you connecting to yourself. A channeled connection can be tampered with because you can have somebody pretending or masquerading or whatever it is. But when you're using your own source connection, then there's nothing can get in the way of that. So to see it so bright is fantastic, because you can connect to anybody through your higher self connection. You can connect to any other being, any
so
other
we
guy.
could look, that's so cool, because we could look at the shuttle then as my higher self taking me out into the universe. How cool is that?
Absolutely, it is cool.
This giant bright light shuttle.
And getting assistance from your guides, or a guide in the dream too. So it's not just you, and there are a group, so you are meant to work with other people. You say, it was at the back of the building. So this is something that, you know, it's kind of strange. You say, okay, here's this magnificent thing, and it's all the way at the back of the building. So this is something you need to bring out and make it more front and center. And of course you are, but you're in the process of that. So people don't know this about you yet, probably, but they're going to know about it. It's like if a space shuttle took off from your back garden, people will know. Did you see what happened in Amanda's place? You know, so that's what's going to happen. But realize you're the one that's keeping it hidden. You say there was a bridge that went from a platform to the open door of the space shuttle. So that's really good. To see an open door onto the space shuttle means that the opportunity is already there. You don't need to do anything to take advantage of it. Well, you do. You have a small thing to do. The platform represents what you already do. So you're on a platform, but you're the bridge to this next thing. So it's you are the bridge to the stars, or you've got to bridge this gap. I had a better way of putting this earlier, and it's escaping me now. But that's what it is. The bridge is your connection. It's part of your platform that you're able to do. It's part of what's unique for you.
Okay.
We entered the warehouse onto the platform, and the small group proceeded into the space shuttle, where the guide kept telling us that we were the chosen ones for this trip, that we had been specifically chosen based on our outstanding work. So again, this is about you needing to give yourself the credit. Why? Because the guide is giving you the credit. The guide is saying, look, you've got this spot because of your amazing abilities. And of course, you're in the dream going, how am I going on this trip with these people?
Yes.
So
that's how I feel. There's part of me that's still, I'm like in it right now. And I'm going, what is happening?
I'm going to be discovered any moment, and they're going to go, oh, sorry, it was meant to be this person. But no, it's emphasizing that it is you. So if that question is on your mind, is it really me? Am I the chosen one? This dream is saying absolutely it is, because guides are the only characters in a dream that are infallible. What they say is absolute truth. No other character has that trait in a dream. And so the guide saying, and you said he kept telling us that we were the chosen ones.
Yeah.
So you can put that out of your mind. There's no mistakes whatsoever. And of course, it's going to be a fantastic ride, but they chose you because of your skill set on it. Then you say, and here's where it comes back down to earth a little bit. The next part is, I can remember walking through the shuttle to get an idea of what it looked like. There were different designated areas for eating, sleeping, bathing, locker rooms, and seats for us to strap into for the journey. It almost felt like the inside of a cruise ship, but only smaller. It's weird to even say that, but I remember feeling that way. I also remember being very concerned about what I had packed in my bag to make sure that I had enough clothes, and in particular socks and underwear. I almost considered taking an extra pair of socks I saw on the floor in front of me, but thought those must be someone else's. Then you say, while looking through my bag, I remember feeling a bit unsure about the people on the journey, as this was so new. I did not really know the people around me, but something told me I would get to know them very well, and they were good people and chosen too. So again, this is the people that you're getting to know now. You are going to get to know them better. But let's go back a little bit. So you have the concern, you have the feeling unsure, and so on. That's a reality right now. So we know that's going on. So the dream is getting to where that's coming from, that feeling of being unsure. It's mostly answered in the next paragraph. But come back to some of the things here. The shuttle has everything, has all the spaces that are needed. So it's like there's nothing not planned or not catered for on this trip. So don't be thinking, I need maybe more preparation, or I need to do X, Y, and Z. You don't. It's all covered. All you need to do is show up and strap in. And then you talk about the packing your bag. Now, bags and dreams are usually not good. They're about baggage and stuff that we're carrying from before. And you say you're wondering that you had enough clothes. So this is wondering about, do I have the right attitude? Do I, that's what clothes represent in dreams. And then you say socks and underwear. So this is also the underwear. Let's just go with the underwear first. So if our outer clothes represent our attitude, it's like I dress a particular way on purpose for this show. I dress other ways for various different things. So the clothes represent our attitude towards a particular subject matter. So underwear represent, this is me, who I am underneath. And in the dream, you don't want to lose touch with yourself. So that's good, good to see.
That's so huge.
And is that a concern of yours?
Wow.
Well, we know it is because it's in the dream. So, but you're wondering, have you got enough? And of course you have, so it's fine. But then you say you almost consider taking an extra pair of socks. And the pair makes this about relationships. So this is saying you, and I asked you about this because sometimes it's not appropriate to talk about this on air. Yeah. And so I don't know what you want to share, but you're not in a relationship right now. But this piece is saying, should I pick up another relationship going forward? And the dream is saying, look, there's a relationship for you. It's right there. It's on your path. That's what the pair of socks represent.
Holy garbanzo beans.
But you are saying, that belongs to someone else. So even though a relationship is on your path, your attitude towards it right now, because remember, clothes are attitudes, is I'm not sure whether that would help me on my path. And
Yeah.
right now you're saying, I'm not going to do it. So, but
Oh, that's
realize that it's there. It's there for you to pick up if you want. Everything in a dream is an aspect of you. So it's not that the socks belong to someone else. It's your kind of thinking, that's for other people. I've had my relationship. I've got kids. I'm done. I'm good.
Yeah.
I'm cool.
Yeah.
The dream is saying, no, that's also part of what's covered for you.
Damn it. No, just kidding. I'm just kidding.
No, well, you said that this
I mean, I
person
know. Yeah.
better be amazing. And that's
Yes.
an
I mean,
absolute
it's got to be like beyond like, okay, I'm willing to make time for this because I do feel my mission is so big, which
right.
is what we're covering.
Yeah.
It is so big. Okay. Maybe it'll be like Oprah and Stedman, and it'll be like, all right, let's hang out and see us together. We'll make time for each other, but like, I'm busy. I don't know.
But
We'll see.
the best relationships are the ones where you don't lose yourself. You get to keep your underwear, symbolically. You
Mm-hmm.
don't lose yourself, and the other person supports you as you are. The worst
Mm-hmm.
relationships are the ones that we get into in the beginning of our lives, where we get in and we say, I like this, this, and this about him, but I can change those other two things. And so we change the
I
person.
don't want any more of that.
And the other person's trying to change you. And so we change each other, or at least attempt to change the person into somebody that we weren't attracted to in the first place.
Yeah.
So anyway, we learn that. Some of us learn that as we get older. Don't do that. So we get into a relationship then where the person is fully supportive of who you are. And the support is what I want to underline there. So your ability to do what you're doing is amplified by being around this person. They don't take anything from you whatsoever. And the same for you with them. You don't take anything from them, but you help amplify everything that they want to do in their lives. So that's the
amazing.
type of relationship.
That's phenomenal insight. That's just, I mean, the information you're giving me, these little bits are like, oh my gosh, like that right there is so big. And then the whole underwear thing, like not losing myself in this process is a very, very big deal.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Excellent. And then the other thing is, of course, I don't know what your view of celebrities was before, but here at the end you say, you're going to get to know them very well and that they are good people. So I hope you have a good attitude towards celebrities, because that's the circle you're going to be around. Remember, your shuttle's going to move around among the stars. So when you launch, that's where you're going to be. You're going to be with the stars,
Okay.
which is really cool. So while searching through my stuff, I suddenly remembered that I needed to call my family members and say goodbye. So now here's where we come down to the human side. When I checked my phone, there was no cell signal. So this is about communication and communication issues because of baggage, because we're talking about baggage before, from family influences. And we're not going to go into detail here, just except to say what it is. You say, I remember feeling anxious because I had to say goodbye to my family. So this feeling, and I said I would come back to this feeling of nervousness and being anxious comes from your upbringing. So that's what you've got to say goodbye to, not about saying goodbye to your family, but saying goodbye to negative influences from your family. So if your family was the sort that you were raised a particular way, and it's like, this is your place, this is who we are, so on and so on, you've got to unshackle yourself from that thought, because that's not who you are.
Wow.
And anyway, because I had to say goodbye to my family, all of a sudden I decided to leave the shuttle, rush out of the back door of the building, so the back door is about going into the past, and across to the park, it's all about the heart, to find signal and make the call. I don't really remember the details of the calls. I just remember feeling like I got to say goodbye to everyone. So of course, it's not a physically you saying goodbye to everybody, but you've got to make that call. It's like, it's metaphorical, where somebody says, make the call. Do you want to take the blue pill or the red pill? And so you've got to make that call. And you have. In the stream, you've made the call. You've decided to go back into the shuttle as you do just now. But let go of your upbringing and let go of the conditioning. It's just the conditioning, the negative conditioning, that your place stops here. Not even sure if my hand's on camera. But your place stops here because it doesn't. It's up among the stars.
Wow. Wow.
Let's see. I don't really remember the details of the calls. I remember feeling like I got to say goodbye to everyone. That's really good. I then remembered that I had to get back to the shuttle, so I felt anxious. And of course, this is what you're leaving behind. Rushing across the park. The park is about the heart, so it's all feelings around the heart, in the heart. In the hopes of finding the unmarked building. I do remember at this time that there was a steel statue out front surrounded by grass. So the steel statue is interesting. So this is said that your fortitude You have to be made of steel. Stick to your goals. The statue represents an ideal or goal. So it's like your ideal going into this, again, like the underwear, don't lose yourself. You know who you are. You know what your ideals are. You know, like, this is me, and this is a spiritual person. You know, the spiritual person does this, a spiritual person does not do that. Don't lose sense of your ideals, regardless of how big they are. And the big statue makes it very good. It had shapes almost like a crop circle. So again, it's all about the heart. Because of the connection with your higher self, which works through female energy, the heart's going to be huge for you. I do not remember the details of the steel statue. As I gaze at it through my mind's eye now, I see a giant being with maybe shields and a shuttle or something. So again, the shield is like, I'm going to go to war for my ideals. You know, it's that's who you are. So as you move into this new stratosphere of people, again, your concern is about losing yourself. And this dream is saying, no, hold on to your ideals, because that's what's getting you there. And that's who you are. That's what defines who you are. Does that make sense? I mean, I'm sure that makes sense.
Yeah, this is mind-blowing. Yes. I'm going to be showing this to several people. Yes.
Okay. Once I found the statue, I had to then find the entrance again. No one was around at this time, so I had to find my own way. So this is, again, emphasizing you did this on your own. People didn't come along and knock on the door and say, hey, we just call a number at random and it's you. You know, so it's like you've earned the space, the place that you're on. I was able to get into the door, and then I had to find my way through the maze of the building again, traveling up and down staircases and through different pathways. And again, it felt futuristic. I finally found the shuttle, and when I got inside, the instructors were showing everyone how to strap in. I sat down, strapped myself in, and prepared for takeoff. That is when I woke up. So the ending is great. So we see the danger in the dream. Going back to your family takes you completely out of that world. And you have to go through all this work again, get to there again. And so whatever you do, do not step backwards on this path, because you know what it has taken to get to where you are. Keep going forward. Realize that the anxiousness, the nervousness and things like that, they come from your upbringing. And it was meant to be. That's going to keep you humble. But it was meant to be that way. It's not like that was a mistake. So realize that was all okay. And then finishes with the instructors, because you're an instructor, you're a teacher, showing everyone how to strap in. So it's like, this is where you are. Strap in. This is going to take off. So it's not like this is going to be a gradual organic reach. It's like somebody, we did the countdown and you're launched. And that's what's coming for you. So we know it's going to happen because you have the guide at the start reassuring you again and again and again that you're the right person for this. And then at the end, who you are, getting strapped into the chair. So you're not on your own. You have a strong connection with your guides, your higher self. So in that sense, you're not on your own. Strong higher self connection. So that's your dream. Were you aware of all the parts of it?
No.
Oh.
No, not at all. I would say the Disneyland piece, like being at Disneyland to me was like magic and joy. I'm taking off on a shuttle out into the universe from Disneyland. Like, how cool is that, right? So to me, that was symbolic of like the launch I'm in right now is very magical and joy filled. So it was like reassurance. The guide telling us like you're the chosen one, I understood as reassurance also. But there's so many parts that you talked about that I wouldn't know, like the spires, connecting to source energy, like the spires helping with that connection. Of course, a gigantic unmarked building means this is huge, which I know that's what I'm stepping into. I saw myself on stages, a couple of years ago, several years ago, meditating like in front of just crowds of like, thousands and thousands of people moving energy and stuff. And I'm like, what, where is this coming from? So here we are. And then when we went into the building, the fact that we're going up and down stairs and through hallways and dark and light, and how that's all been purposeful. And that's a really beautiful symbology, because all my lessons, all the stuff that I've had to move, and it is about, in the end, what I'm learning is the open heart, keeping the heart open through everything. And so all my childhood traumas and young adulthood and all those different pieces make me what I am now and what I've created. So I love the idea that all that symbology through the building was actually kind of like a reminiscing or something. Maybe now that I'm launching, like being in gratitude. Maybe that's what I got from what you were saying.
It's reminiscing gratitude, but also because it was connected to a group working through this. If you got yourself images of yourself on a stage meditating and helping huge groups of people, you're going to help them navigate the path you went through. Of course, everybody's path is a little bit different, but a dark spot is a dark spot.
That's cool.
And
That's cool.
so, you know,
it's helping other people that are in dark places.
So
help bring the light
with
in.
your level, you would never have needed to go through that. So it's like, if I come here to the planet and I want to help a lot of people raise their energy, how do I do that? Well, I have to get in touch with the heavy energy that has them, that they're trapped in. And so I plan a life where I'm going to come in and come down, and I'm going to go through the traumas, I'm going to go through the heartache, I'm going to go through the bad relationships, I'm going to go through all these different things. Because otherwise people will come up to you and say, how do you know? And you'll be able to be empathic with these people, because you do know, because you've deliberately chosen a path, were guided through a path where you had the same experiences as the people that you're going to be working with.
Very true. Very, very
and
true.
they're the best people to help anybody. Somebody who's already gotten through the very trauma that you need help with.
That's it. So that to me was extremely significant. All the stuff you're talking about right in this moment, as I'm in it right now. This moment right now is very significant, and what you're telling me really goes right into my heart. And then the shuttle being my higher self makes total sense. It's the light. It's the light. You know, I'm getting it. My higher self is projecting me out into the universe, which is like, and you know.
Well, I would put it this way: your higher self is with you on the journey. It's with you on the launch, because it's, you know, it's in the shuttle. So
that's
it's like,
cool.
You're not going to lose your connection. You know, it's like, what if I get a big ego? What happens? You know, and this dream is saying, you can relax.
That's so cool. That's so great. And then in the shuttle, when you talked about my underwear and my socks, because my underwear is me. You know, if you're going so big, so fast, because, you know, a couple people that I'm connected with in the woo-woo world is saying, like, already like April, May, it's going to like blow, and like April or May, like real soon. That's why I think you're saying it's a shuttle too. It's not like a.
Oh yeah, this is quick and big.
This quick and really, really big. So then I've got to connect with my family, and that's going back into the path. That's past. It's having anxiety about, oh my God, what do they think? They're in and they're supportive, but yet this is my own inner. What is that? What is that old stuff that comes up in dreams? It just needs to be shifted. Like, what is that?
We all have conditioning, and they could, you know, positive and negative conditioning, and it defines who we are. But some of it is intrinsic to who we are, and some of it is just conditioning. And the negative stuff in dreams is what we're meant to eliminate. And of course, there's a reason for this, and I say it all the time, is some of the negative stuff that we pick up, we already have those traits in the spirit world. And by picking them up on the earth plane and working through them here, because it's easier to do it here. You know, I can be in a really dark space and sit beside somebody who's full of light. You can't do that in the spirit world. So we pick things to work on here because it's easier to work on them here. And when we eliminate them from our psyche while we're here, then they're gone. But the goal is that they're gone from the spirit world when we get back there. But once we do it here, they're gone from both places, because we're in both places.
That's pretty dang cool. That's amazing. That's amazing. That's a totally different way of looking at it for me, which is just amazing. I'm just taking all this in because it adds to my repertoire of connection and information and things, and how to dissect and the layers of the aspects of our beings. Like, I'm like listening and I'm going, whoa, this is cool. Listening to this back will be really important for me as I move through this process, because, oh yeah, that's right, I have worked my tail off. Oh yeah, that's right, I have. You know, I'm a single mom of 3 kids, 14, 11, and 9. I have a full-time job as a project manager at the local utility, and I'm doing this work. And I'm doing this work in the wee hours of the morning. And so for you to say you've earned this spot, that's what you're hearing in the stream. That's what it's signifying. It's a very big deal.
I look forward to being in the audience of one of your events.
Oh, stop it. You'll be on stage with me. Stop it. Most of the dream, I wouldn't have any clue how to pull those things that you did. So, yeah.
Right.
Yeah, very cool. Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you. Thanks for
And I'll
taking
be
the time.
showing this to many, many people, including the stars. People will be seeing this video because this is such a poignant moment.
That's it for this week. I do hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please hit the like button on YouTube and subscribe to my channel. It's very interesting to see Amanda's dreams and see how they reveal her gifts and her life purpose and confirm her hopes. If you're interested in having a dream analysed on the show, send them to radioshow@dream-analysis.com or do one of my courses. Go to dream-analysis.com. You'll find all the details there. Thanks for watching.
Hi, I'm Ann Tucker, and I'm the founder of Wisdom Soup. I hope you enjoyed that interview with Michael Sheridan. Michael is one of the featured teachers on our new Wisdom Soup app, which is designed for people who want to develop their spiritual gifts but haven't been able to find the just right mentors and teachers or the social support that they need to really break through. We're going to be launching the app this summer at the Wisdom Soup Spirit Summit, which is going to be in Los Angeles on June 2nd. And it's going to be hosting it in a beautiful venue right in Hollywood. The plan for the day is to offer you a range of experiences to really help you jumpstart your own spiritual growth. So there'll be workshops such as one on dream interpretation with Michael Sheridan. We'll be talking about channeling. There'll be an inner child healing, a group healing, a sound bath. There'll be discussion tables where you can talk about your favorite topics. And there'll be a chance for you to practice your own intuition in guided sessions. Now, since you're a member of Michael's audience, I'd like to offer you a special gift. With the discount code WISDOMSOUP, you'll receive $25 off of the price of admission. Tickets are on sale now. They're at wisdomsoup.eventbrite.com. And you can find out more about the event at wisdomsoup.com, as well as more about the app, which will be available in the App Store in April and in Google Play in May. So I hope to see you at Wisdom Soup Spirit Summit. It's going to be an amazing day.